Hi, my name is Jossée Bernier. I am 21 years old, originally from Ojibwe. I am currently here in North Bay. I just finished 3 years of studying at Canadore. I did 1 year of general arts and science and another year of Indigenous wellness and addictions prevention. So I think something that I wanted to share, and especially because I still consider myself very much a youth, it took me a long while to kind of reclaim my identity and figure out what that even means to me. I spent half of my life growing up in the States and the other half in Canada, but there was that weird pull of feeling like I don't belong in either. I felt I was too white to live in my community, but then I felt too brown to live in like anywhere else that wasn't my community, really. So there was a lot of confusion growing up, and there was a lot of feeling misplaced and like I didn't really know who I was. I feel really lucky on my journey though, because I think the first steps to reclaiming my identity and who I am and where I come from was just not only immersing myself into it, but just opening myself up to explore that and be honest about it and unafraid about it. The program that I took at Canadore, Indigenous wellness and addictions prevention, was definitely a huge role in exploring that myself. We learned so much about history, and it went so much more beyond drugs and alcohol, and you begin learning at how everything becomes the way that it is now today, and especially for people in this generation, why our communities are experiencing so much poverty, so much drug and alcohol abuse, so much misplacement, so much anger and grief and guilt, and nobody really understanding where that's really coming from. So I got to learn that for myself personally, and within myself, within my family, within my community, within my friends. And so learning not only about different identities, it really allowed me to learn about myself and what being Indigenous today means to me, and respecting that, honoring that. I have so much pride in who I am, and I would definitely encourage that in anyone who feels that they're not really sure where they belong. You belong here, you belong everywhere and anywhere. There's no right or wrong, there's no you are meant to be here as who you are, and even if that's not figured out yet, you can initiate that for yourself, and I think that's the most powerful way to do it, and definitely the most greatest thing you can do for yourself. It definitely takes a lot of honesty and a lot of strength, especially when you're looking at Indigenous history, or history in general, really. Takes a lot of strength and honesty and just the willingness to learn, and whether you accept it or you don't, or whether you approve of it or not, it doesn't change the context of what it is, but how you understand that for yourself completely defines it, really. Being Indigenous today means to me definitely reclaiming who you are, where you come from, your culture, your language, traditions, everything that makes you who you are, and letting that define you. We have so many different Indigenous tribes and people across Canada who all share, almost similar culture, even though the language is different or certain traditions are different. We kind of all derive from the land. So many of our beliefs, so many of our values came from the land, and honoring that and respecting that, I think, is the heart of being Indigenous.